Hello, my friends. Today is July the 6th, and this is a psychic reading for you if this is your birth date. I do psychic readings and healing work. I've been doing it for 38 years. Check out my credits. I do a lot of internet readings. I do a lot of different modalities of healing work at my place in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So this was a four-card pull to cover the year to follow, approximately 7 to 10 minutes long, so bear with me. This is a lens card to look at the year through, a challenge you might face this year, an action you can take to stay in balance, and an outcome or synopsis card. So the lens is the box. And the box, what does the box talk about? Well, we build boxes around ourselves. You know, we build houses around ourselves. We build walls around ourselves. We put things into boxes that we want to keep. We put things into boxes that we want to hide. We box ourselves in around relationships, around uh, church, around school, around studies, around societies, and we often think we can't step out of the lines of the box, and we can't allow that part of ourselves to show, and we have to hide this part of ourselves, and we can't color outside the lines of our box because people will think we're crazy, or we don't care, or we're different from them, and we could often be afraid to show what's in the box of ourselves. And sometimes we hide those things in our that we covet as well inside of boxes because we don't want other people to see them and be jealous and be envious and maybe take them away from us. But there's also that side of things that needed to be in the box have their own understanding. And sometimes they want to be shown. Sometimes an object wants to be shared with the world. It's its own choice. Sometimes your truth wants to be shared with the world because some higher part of you says, well, you have to show your truth. You have to open up your box. You have to let go and surrender and trust and challenge yourself to break through some of the walls that your box holds you in. Because if you stay in the box on so many things in your life that you feel locked up and stuck, and you get depressed and you get delusional and you get crazy on some levels. So you got to keep breaking out of the boxes that are the ones that keep you walled in, and you got to keep showing some of those things that are in the boxes because they want to be seen, and you really want them to be seen because they'll help you to heal. But sometimes you need to put things in boxes because they don't want to be seen and you don't want them to be seen. And maybe it's someone else's secret or privacy that you're trying to protect, or for their own benefit, to keep them alive or whatever. Maybe it's your own, something inside the box that allows you to stay alive and to stay healthy. Might be something you need to keep in the box. But on most levels, most of us need to open our boxes up and show what's inside of them, as scary as that can be. So the box is not a bad thing or a good thing. It's how you use it and what consciousness you bring to it, and whether it's locking you in or whether it's protecting you mightily. So there is that sense of looking at the boxes that you have created. Here's your particular challenge, Seven of Cups. Well, here's that mind craziness or that heart craziness. Relationships might feel yucky. Your sense of yourself emotionally might feel squirrely. You might be feeling like you're living in delusions or illusions and not grounded in some kind of reality. The things you reach for might be unobtainable or might be messier than you expected. And there's a sense of, frustration and just yucky emotional questioning. Maybe it's old guilts and shames, and maybe it's old things that are pushing you around from inside that you're not really aware of totally, and you haven't gone in to look at, and things that you've kept in the box that are trying to get out and be open because they know they need some healing work. Seven is often about letting go of something. Letting go of one of these issues or one of these things, opening up your box around one of these issues, and letting something be open and be given air and not push you around anymore. Because on a lot of levels, this can create some toxic juices inside of you, but then it's often we share those toxic juices as our defense system and as our protection and as our resentment, and as our our anger, our jealousies toward other people having nice lives and nice things, and our energies about anger about wanting to protect ourselves at any cost to keep our survival. And sometimes we throw out the harshness and the negativity that we're feeling inside of ourselves, and we smack other people around. That might be part of what's happening. Maybe it's an internalized just queasiness. Maybe it's an externalized uh, feeling of pain that you're sharing with the world. But something needs to, I think, with the box there, something needs to be opened up and shared with the world. Uh, so this is the action to take skunk. Skunk, I think, is a beautiful card. Very uh, a vulnerable creature, very loving and kind, and people have pet skunks. Uh, they're just like cats. They're just that kind of beautiful, cuddly, loving kind of creature. But they have a great defense. They can pop up their tail and shoot you a waft that says, "Oh, I know what you mean. Oh, I know you're trying to defend yourself. Oh, no, I don't want to bother you. Oh, no, I'll stay away from you." And this is a great defense, but if you use it all the time, if you're always spraying your opinions, if you're always spraying your anger, if you're always spraying your resentment, if you're always spraying your lowness and depression and disgust out into the world, then you build up a reputation. So the action to do is to think about your reputation and say, what am I really building up in the world? And can I open myself up and be more vulnerable? Can I open up a box and be more vulnerable? Can I let go of something and be more vulnerable? Can I trust that I can be vulnerable like the skunk, and when if I need to defend myself, then I can pull up my tail and spray somebody, and but as long as I don't keep getting the reputation of of just being an angry old smell pot that wants to put my blame on my woes onto everybody else, then I don't get that bad reputation. And if your reputation is important to you, maybe it's a good thing to look at. And it's not about guilt and shame. It's about looking at and honoring what pain you're in, because underneath this is a really strong sense of pain, and there's pains that just want to be released because you've kept them in a box for too long. And to be vulnerable like this skunk, is really, you need to share, and you need to love, and you need to give, and you need to and receive, and you need to hear and listen to others, but you need to talk, and you need to talk. You need to open yourself up. You need to open your box up. But you have to do that with somebody you trust, that you're not going to get, angry at or defensive with, or shove away because they've gotten too close and you can't open that box. It's like, in the right time, in the right space, a box will be able to be opened this year. Allow it. Allow yourself to be vulnerable. Allow yourself to know that you can really protect yourself if you absolutely need to. Don't put up the old defenses, especially the fun, the smelly ones that keep others and yourself from looking in your box, because on some level you really need this to break through some clog that seems to be there, some emotional pain and stuckness and depression that is there. You can do a lot of the work to heal yourself this year. You can do a lot of the work to clear your sacred passion this year, and to remember your sacred flame that's inside of you. It's like the sacred flame says, what are you doing that really speaks to you in an uplifting way, in a transcendent way? What can you remember to do, maybe from your childhood, that would speak to you of upliftment, of joy, of passion, of light, of flame, of purpose? What is really calling you? And maybe you've been avoiding some internal flame of desire that you have wanted. Maybe it's time to look at that particular flame and say, why do I keep denying myself? Why do I keep thinking I'm not worthy, or that I'm not able, or I'm not or that I haven't been abandoned by others, or God, Goddess, all that is, or however I want to see it. But this is to reconnect into that sacred flame, and you can only do that by, I think, getting rid of some of the pain, opening up some of the old boxes that you put things in that really want to be named, and trusting that if you do it in a kind way that still knows it can protect itself, but in a kind and open and vulnerable way, your reputation will be good, your self-esteem will feel good and better about itself. You won't be adding on more junk to your path, and you'll find a clearer way to follow your light and speak from your heart and do the things that really heal you. And then you can go on to open other boxes, or put things in other boxes and close them away, or whatever. It's boxes aren't good or bad, as I said. They're just how you use them and the consciousness you bring to them. Aho.